Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk, but I'm...
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and I am once again about to drop the bass. You know, the bases from an aircraft. So, last week I set up a 60 subscriber challenge because we were at 51 subscribers. I said if we reach 60 subscribers by the end of 2022, I would attempt to drive a rover from the Kerbal Space Center to the North Pole. Well, not exactly the North Pole. A base that I landed close to the North Pole. And since then, we are up to 59 subscribers as of October 31st. So I am dropping some more bases. In a previous video, I dropped 4 bases that got me about halfway, and I'm going to drop 4 more. I have updated the aircraft. I basically fixed the angle of the engines because I noticed they were actually causing the nose to push down a little bit, and I have fixed that, which allowed the aircraft to actually take off before the end of the runway, and it also makes it a little bit easier to fly. Now this aircraft is extremely heavy when all the bases are in it, and it's going to be a little bit of a chore to fly it all the way out there with all the bases, but I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to cut out all that because it takes about 45 minutes before anything happens, and it's just 45 minutes of me flying north. And there's nothing really exciting, so you know what? Let's do a crossfade. There we go. So, this is about 45 minutes real time. I even time accelerated a little bit of that. Otherwise, it would have taken quite some time. So, Reddit, not a Reddit. This is not Reddit, this is YouTube. A YouTube user said that I can adjust the deploy altitude for the parachutes, which is a great idea, and I probably should have done that, but it would have required me doing a little bit more work on the aircraft. I would have had to take all the bases out and adjust it for the one base, and then copy it 3 more times, and then put them all back in the aircraft. And in the end, I can achieve the same goal just by flying a little bit lower before I release the base. And speaking of releasing the base, releasing the base, there we go. So there is the first base. Now, I do need to fly around in a circle so that the base does not go out of physics range before it lands. And I will speed up the footage here this is about 4 times. And I'm just going to fly around. I think I only have to do this twice, maybe. And every time I drop a base, the aircraft becomes a lot easier to fly. A lot more fuel efficient. Also, the more fuel I use, the lighter it becomes. So, also, I want to give a shout out to our new subscribers who have helped us reach this goal. We're only one subscriber away now. And the whole reason I am dropping the bases are so I kind of have a waypoint in this journey. So now that that first base is landed, well, first, by first I mean the fifth, because I've already dropped 4 in a previous video. I am flying around still up north, just past the mountains. Those mountains in the view are about where I dropped the last base. And as I'm coming down here, I'm seeing the ground is a little bit bumpy. I kind of want to get to that flat section before I drop next base, just because I'm going to be driving a rover all the way through here. So yeah. Again, just trying to get a little bit lower so I don't have to linger nearly as long. And I'm coming up on the flat section so I can open the bay. If you didn't watch the first video, I explained why the aircraft doesn't have a rear end. And that is because when I dropped the first base with the back end of the aircraft, the base collided with it, and the base exploded, the rear end exploded, and it was just a bad time. Now, this didn't happen in the last video. I tested the aircraft before I did the mission. Nobody was hurt. But there's the base. I'll deploy the landing legs, close the bay, and do a couple quick circles just to keep it in physics range. So yeah, I'm also going to name the bases. Now, I know there's the phonetic alphabet that the military uses, and I'm going to basically name the bases that, except for the first 2, and I don't know why I just chose the first 2. So, one of the early military phonetic alphabets was the Able-Baker system, and I just like those better than Alpha Bravo that they use currently. But, well, even for the Able-Baker system, it went Able-Baker Charlie, and then for D they did dog, and I didn't like the idea of driving to a base named Dog. So I switched to the more modern military one of Delta. Whoa! Don't worry, that was just part of the decoupler that exploded. So this is the last base. You can see I'm right on the edge of the ice shelf. So once I reach this point, the last waypoint will be the North Pole. So I plan to do the North Pole drive basically in nine segments. So the first segment will be from the Space Center to Alpha, or not, see, now I've already switched back to Able. Base Able. And now that all the bases are dropped, I'm flying the aircraft back to the Space Center, and I'm going to attempt to land it on the runway. But yeah, anyway, so as I was saying, the first segment will be driving the Able base. The second will be to Baker, and then Charlie, Delta, Epsilon, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, and then the last segment will be, hopefully, reaching the North Pole. Now, as I'm coming in, I have messed up. I didn't realize that I was still in target mode for my airspeed. And I'm like, why am I going so fast? I don't seem to be so fast. Until I realized I'm in target and switch it back over and realize that I'm actually very, very slow. And I was probably on the verge of stalling. Although, with so little fuel and no cargo, this aircraft's actually very light and glides very well. And the landing here was so smooth, I didn't actually realize I was on the ground. Like I'm flaring up. And I even start flying up a little bit, so I level off and try and bring it back down. And at this point, you see me still trying to pull up and flare, and I didn't realize, oh yeah, I'm actually on the runway. So anyway, thanks for all the new subscribers. One more to go, and I will start this mission to the North Pole. If you haven't already, like and subscribe this video. Share it with your friends or family if you don't have friends. And anyway, thanks guys. This is Dracofunk, and I'll see you later. Good night.